always maintain the documents. Okay, so whenever you finish your testing, right, just make sure you attach some results. Okay, so that results in sense. Yeah, it's from 10:45 actually. We start from 10:45 to 11:45. Okay, and yeah, so actually, uh, yeah, it might be a little bit low, because some tool, because of this tool, but yeah, don't worry. I mean, I'll also give you, I'll be giving you a good voice quality too. Okay, so don't worry about it. You can just listen this class, and if you really don't think this is really good, and it doesn't, you think it's not good, you can view my better quality audio. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay, so if it's your first class, then yeah, if someone is first class, right? So in that case, send me an email, okay, to my email ID, manu@itamerica.com, manu@itamerica.com. So I'll send you the list of recordings. Go to the recording one by one, okay? Go through one by one, and if you have any issues, homework, anything, you can reach out to me, okay? So because even if I tell you something from here, right, you may not understand, because we have completed from 1 week. We have done so far a lot of things. So even if I say something, if I want to explain anything, you may not understand like everything clearly at this point of time. Okay, so better view my previous recordings, so that it will be like easier. Once you get hold of it slowly, it will be easier for you. Okay. Yes, you see. Yeah, and as I told you, some of them may not be defects. Not all are defects. Some are, feature request. But you guys did good. Good defects. Make sure you also do the same thing. At work. I mean, this is um okay. So this is not something like you have to be perform well at your work too. The similar way you need to perform the similar way. Okay, but as you have open defects. This is not something you might be opening every time, because these are not like always a defect. Sometimes a feature request. Okay, sometimes feature request which you need to go to this step by step process. You need to go to the request from business analyst and all those things. Okay, so not all may be a defect. So you need to check with your lead, check with your developers, and okay, okay, sure. So no, I mean to say, like these are all. So whoever have opened these defects, right? So people have opened defects. So what I'm saying is, okay, you can also do the same. Like you can also, some people have opened two defects. Okay, some people maybe one defect. That's fine. Okay, and here is no name, so don't know who has opened. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, not all, all are defects. Okay. Before opening a defect, before doing something, you know, whatever is there, you don't just because, you do something, just because somebody told you something, doesn't what you have to do is like you need to talk. You need to talk with the lead saying that okay, so is this so here, I mean, I don't have any noise. So maybe, it's good to itself. So that already, is okay. It's you can see this. Okay, now can everyone hear it properly? No background noise. Do you still have the background noise? Okay, good. Yeah, somebody left the mic open. So okay, okay, good. And I was mute, so I was not able to hear that background noise. So I muted everyone. Okay, good. Okay, now it's good. Um, okay. Sorry about that. No, I didn't. Before this was automatically, was opening that speaker on. Now, I have to do it manually. Okay. So, okay, let's start our class. So today I'll be explaining about the agile. So agile, let's quickly go to this agile. Okay, so what I was trying to explain, right? Not always are defects. Okay, not what you have seen is defect. So what you have to, once you see the issue, let's say you've found an issue. So always you need to figure it out issue. Okay, so you guys done some of them, did good. Some people really did in this batch. Okay, specifically. So I'm running this class right from 12 months or more than 12. It's been 12 months, and not everyone like coming up this issue, but maybe this batch and 2 to 3 batches only in this 12 I've really done good. So somebody opened this issue, okay, that this is an issue, good, okay, this is an issue. This is an issue for when you're in a medical project, when you're in pharmaceutical project or medical client. This is a real issue. Make sure you open. So this will be a defect. Okay, you believe, if you want to talk your lead, that's fine. That's, do it all those formalities. But once you've done this, you need to open this defect. Okay, these are defects. And the other one defect, just such kind of defects like this. These are the defects. So, such kind of things should be open. Defects should be open. Okay. So, and some people have also open defects. So those are defects, some are defects, and some may not be defect. Okay. So some are feature requests. Okay. So that's what we were talking about. Okay. Okay. Now let's in agile. Let's okay. So we'll be working on agile environment. So last class in Friday's class, right? We were talking about different methodologies, right? Various waterfall methodology, SDLC model, okay, all those. agile. So we move to the agile methodology. So agile, everyone are slowly moving to the agile methodology. Okay, so agile, because where you want to, where cost is more important than quality, because everyone is only want to work on cost. So see, the clients want to things, client want to say that, hey, 6 month project. No, we don't have 6 months time. Make 1 month. That's it. Okay, so what they do, right? So they want to do the 6 month project into just 1 month project. So when you're trying to, squeeze, that much amount of time, okay, so you want to come up with a different methodology. So agile is good. Okay, so that helps you to, jot it down the large chunk amount of work. Okay, so let's go one by one. Okay, so what is agile? So agile is an iterative and incremental process. Okay, what is agile? Agile is an iterative and incremental process. Again, we are all talking about the process. Okay, this is not something a software, or this is not something which is a tool or something like that. Okay, so this is a process. That means the environment, the work, the way, the way you want to work. Okay, and this is not something we control it. This is, from a management point of view, they decide, um, what business process it should work, what kind of, okay, so all these things. But we need to know, because we involve a lot into this. Okay. Okay, so in agile, let's go, one by one. So in agile, there is, there is so many other subdivisions. We have like Scrum. Okay, we have like Scrum. We have this Kanban. We have this Kanban, and we have this one more extreme programming. Okay, then we have a lot of divisions. So Scrum is more famous. Kanban is simple. Just move your user stories from one to another. That's done. So we'll see. We'll work on that one if we have time. Okay. So, but we'll work on Scrum. Okay, Scrum. Scrum. What is Scrum? Scrum is like team. Okay, we have this. It's also an iterative and incremental process, but it's teamwork. Okay, so normally in agile we have teams, right? Team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4, team 5. Okay, so each team, I would say, based on my personal experience, 5 members, 5 to 6 members. That's good. I mean, it's not work performance enhancing process. It's, it's just working process. Okay, you don't enhance your performance. Okay, your performance remains same. Okay, your performance might improve. That's true. But but that is not something which you can that is really not something which is to do with it. Okay, but your performance might improve because things go fast. 3 months work you do just in 1 month. You want to move that work fast. Okay, you want to do it fast. Okay, the build was like 3 days, weekly once, twice the build. Now the build is every day, every day 3 to 4 times. Okay, so that's why it's pretty fast. Okay, I don't want to say it has to enhance anything. Okay, so I don't want to say it enhances something, but yeah, it's a work environment process. Okay. Okay, so okay, so let's go one by one. And Scrum team. So we know Scrum. Scrum is iterative and incremental process. Okay. What is Scrum? Scrum is an iterative and incremental process. Team, we want to do is in a team. Okay. So in waterfall methodology, we still do in a team. But that team is, sometimes it goes to 10, 15 members, So, but here, we don't want to take that much, five members, 6 members, that's good. You don't want to move than that, most people, uh, it becomes really hard to manage. Okay, you cannot manage that many people. Small people, better efficient. Okay, so the productivity will be good. The moment you want to increase people, productivity decreases. Okay, so that's why you don't want to have that many people. But again, it completely depends on the project. It completely depends on the client, how they want to manage. Okay, and these days, I don't even see much improvement in management perspective, because management has to see all these things. Okay, they have to decide. Okay, how much, how many teams has to go. But some companies they really do good. Some companies they really do good and they really care. Okay, Scrum team. So what does it contain? So it contains one product owner. Okay, not really one, but it contains product owner, Scrum master, and development team. Product owner is business analyst. Okay, product owner is business analyst. In waterfall methodology, we call business analyst. In agile, we call product owner. Okay, Scrum master. In waterfall methodology, we call project manager. In agile, we call it Scrum master. And development team. Okay, so there are development team. And there's also testing team. Okay, so but they don't want to so what they try to do, right, in agile, they want to eliminate testing. Okay, so they want to remove testers, but that is something that's not going to happen, right? Because even if you remove testers, somebody has to do the testing. And again, if you make developers to do the testing, they may not do as efficient as or more importantly, they may not do as good as. Okay, so they may not do because you know the, because even if the developer does testing, based on business point of view, and testers does user point of view. So that's the reason we cannot completely eliminate testers. At least you need to have one tester in a team. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. If testing is not good, trust me, things are going to be worse. And testers should be there. Okay. They might be less, that's fine, but they cannot completely eliminate testers. That's not possible. Okay, so that's Scrum team. And product owner. Product owner is to the person who is responsible for the product backlog. Product backlog. Okay, so let's I'll explain about product backlog. And then product owner actually is responsible to create the product backlog. Okay, so I'll explain about the product backlog. So it's a very high level requirement. Okay, product backlog is very high level requirement. And and also is the stakeholder, because interest of the stakeholder. So he's the business analyst. So he talk to the developers, talk to the business owners, and get all the information, and puts all the information in documents, or the user story and all those things. They put the information in the product backlog sheet. Okay, so and then you have this Scrum master. Scrum master is the project manager. Okay, and is responsible for the all the team members. So resolving these impediments. Basically, he or she is responsible for resolving the impediments. Impediments. What are impediments? Impediments is defects. So normally you call it defects in waterfall methodology. Here you call impediments. Okay, and the development team. So development team, we can have the development team normally based on the project. So you can have this web developer, Java developer. So you have so many other, right? Java developer, web developer, ETL developer. Okay. So based on the requirement, based on the project, you want to assign the developers. Okay, in the agile. But again, you can agile are pretty much flexible. They are really, really flexible. Even though they don't belong to the team, or they don't belong to any other, you can still coordinate. They still do the work. You can coordinate to them, and they respond to you. They fix the issues. Okay, so they they do the work. So. So you don't have to be in our team. Okay. So not in every company, but some companies maintain this really flexible environment. Okay, so really flexible. Um, Again, for example, if you take the Wells Fargo, okay, Wells Fargo is really very strict. The Wells Fargo company, you cannot coordinate with the developers. Okay, it's not good. You just get a big email from your manager saying that no, you cannot coordinate directly to the developers. You cannot just go directly and stop by this. So so it's on the flexibility. How flexible the company is. Okay, so that's about the development. Okay, so here spring burn down chart. Spring burn down chart is actually number of hours burn and the number of work remaining. So this is like an example sprint burn down chart. And you have this number of days here and number of story point in the y-axis. And okay, so this is sorry, this is a release burn down chart, not exactly sprint burn down. Sorry about that. Chart. Okay, good. Yeah, this is burn down chart. Sorry. So this is the number of days, okay, and the remaining of efforts, okay. So and the green color, you see this, that is an ideal burn down, but that's not ideal. I mean, that's ideal, but that doesn't happen in the real time. You always have impediments, okay. You always have impediments. You have defects. The project really goes ups and down. That's the blue color. It goes ups and down, so always, because you cannot really have that exact ideal situation every time, okay. So that's how the blue color. So these charts are normally prepaid. Okay. So, but really, if you have this tool, Rally, you don't have to prepare anything. Okay. So this is automatically, the tool itself will be doing for you. Okay. So that's a burn down chart. Okay. The sprint burn down. Then you have release burn down. Okay. Release burn down. This is number of iterations to the story points. Okay, so this is also you can generate it from the tool. Okay, Rally. So I've already shown you, right? Let me quickly show you again. Right, exactly. So normally, yeah, one sprint is 21 days. That's good. I mean, one sprint. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so sprint. I didn't talk about the sprint, right? Did I talk about sprint? Okay, I didn't go that far. Sprint is not okay. Sprint is time period. Okay, time period. Okay, sprint means it's normally 1 to 4 weeks. That means 30 days. Okay. So let's take it as 30 days. It's really it depends. Like sometimes 15 days, sometimes 20 days, but that short is not really required. But 30 days is good. 30 days, one sprint, 30 days. So every month we can have a new release. Okay, new release. We keep on. So yes. So based on this chart, 21 days. That's true. So that means it's just 30 days. Okay. So, okay. So for these reports are already, so here you see this iteration burn down, iteration burn. So all these charts are already, it's already help you to create yourself. So here you don't have to, in traditional agile methodology, right? You need to, prepare that using a printer and use a printer and you need to print those big charts. But here really we don't require it. You can just, this tool helps you to create your, automatically create the graph for you. Okay, velocity chart and iterations by defects, release burn. So all these graphs automatically created for you. Okay, and next what is this print. And sprint backlog, if you have, prioritize task to complete. Okay, so you have this backlog. Okay, if you have any backlog and you want to complete this in a sprint, it's called sprint backlog. And okay, so there are like others too. You can go ahead and you can read it. So this keep on increasing day by day. Okay, tasks are it's how much you need to know what it's like kind of what is the work assigned to you. It's called task. Okay, so there is a difference between task and user story. User story is a requirement. Okay, user story is a requirement. Task is like the amount of work. Okay, so how much the work is is assigned to you. Okay, so and impediments is it may not be always a defect, but it's a defect, and it's also something which is pending from other team. You need to coordinate with the other team, that should be fixed. Okay, so anything which prevents a team member to perform its work is called impediment. Okay, and this should be resolved by the scrum master. Okay, so one thing I need to explain is product backlog, right? So I wanted to explain you the product backlog. So product backlog, is again, it's a requirement. Okay, it's a requirement, but it's a very, very high level requirement. So it's a very high level. It's that's so high level that it's nobody can understand. Nobody can understand. Even give to the developer, he doesn't know what to do. So what's up with this? Okay, so he doesn't know. Okay, so it can be very high level, as high level, just one line statement. Okay, just one line statement. That could be as high level as that much. Just prepared in the Excel sheet by the product owners. So let's take a let's say this is a website, and product backlog for this could be design GMO online. Okay, GMO online website. So now if you give that to the developer says, what's up with this? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, because there are so many buttons here. Buttons need to be designed. Okay, the web pages need to be designed. Okay, so it has to come to web page. These fields should be designed. Okay, so all these things. So if you say product backlog, that means it's a very high level, requirement, and it's like something to say like GMO online website. That's it. In Excel website, they just put a GMO online, one line statement. That's it. That business analyst or product owner will just put, just put one line statement in Excel. Okay, so that's a product backlog. It's a very high level, document. It's not easily understood. Okay, there's no technical information. No information whatsoever. How this website and what is it all about? Nothing. Okay, just one line website. Nobody can understand. Okay, so that's called product backlog. Okay, it doesn't contain any kind of technical information. Okay, it might contain some places, okay, in some places not, like it's not so bad, but it's not easily understood, because this should be jot it down. It needs to be break it down into more sub level to make it easily understandable. Okay, because you cannot just read the document and you can understand. You cannot do that. Okay, it has to be break it down in more levels. So we'll see. Just quickly check this. Okay, so agile will go here. So this is how it's. So let's say this is a product backlog. Okay, the product backlog, as I told you, it's a very high level requirement, and it is very high level, as high as one line statement. That's it. You put it in Excel sheet, just kind of GMO on the website. That's it, and you don't know what we have to do with that. Okay, so that's a product backlog. And once that product backlog, is divided into more, when you subdivide it, you have this four. Let's say that one product backlog is divided into four backlogs. Okay, sprint backlog. Sprint backlog means you have time. That means, let's say, 4 weeks. One product backlog has 4 weeks of time. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just the sake of understanding. We'll just divide it into 4. Okay, sprint backlog. So now each sprint you have this 30 days, right? Now you do this, for 30 days, and then you deliver this software. So this is all about this agile. Okay, so you have this one, big, very big requirement that is called product backlog. You subdivide it into sprint backlog, and again, each sprint backlog has its user stories. Let's say each, sprint backlog has 10 to 15 user stories. Okay, that user story is actually the requirement. So it contains technical information. So all these don't contain any technical information. Okay, it might contain, but not very useful to design or test any software. Okay, this is all about data. Okay, so let's go in detail about this. Let's see this one by one. So since we have completed most of the terminologies, we have completed these terminologies, right? We go to the meetings. Okay, so what kind of meetings we'll be having in Agile? Okay, we have the Scrum team, product owner, Scrum master, of course, development team, and these are charts. Once the projects get started, and these charts, you start printing the charts, or not always. Most of sometimes you can view it online. Okay, sprint burn down charts, burn down, release burn down, product burn backlog. Okay, then you have okay, so these are the terminologies. Let's go to the meetings. Okay, now in Agile you'll be having a lot of meetings. Let's go one by one. Okay, sprint planning. Okay, so once you have decided the product backlog is done. Let's say product owner has created a product backlog in the Excel sheet, lot of information. Okay, and now let's say you're going to sprint 1. So once you go to sprint 1, you want to decide which user stories and which backlog has to go to this sprint and which has to go to the next sprint. Okay, so once you decide that, so for that reason, you want to have this sprint planning. Okay, why do we have this sprint planning? Because what user stories you want to decide for this sprint. Okay, so you have come up with this product backlog. Now you have to come up with sprint backlog. So what are the user stories? You want to come in this sprint backlog. Okay, so you want to decide lot of user stories, right? So and sometimes there's like all jumbled. Okay, so it's not, most of the time it will be jumbled. Okay, you have this UI user story and ETL user story. Okay, then sometimes you also have this performance user story, and mobile testing. Sometimes mobile testing shows up. That mobile testing user story, and suddenly, Android user story. Okay, so sometimes it gets jumbled up. So and you need to, they want to redesign it, or want to see which sprint it has to go. So all these they design, they do it in the sprint planning session. Okay, and it lasts for, you know, um, it lasts for at least for 3 hours, um, 3 to 4 hours, okay, a day. And then make sure that you will not have your lunch, okay, because it will normally start from 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 10 a.m. to 3. Okay, so they'll make sure you don't will not have your lunch. Okay, so this is what they decide. Okay, so they have to see that how much the work scope of work you have to see in this sprint. Okay, what is your scope of work and what is the product backlog that has to go into this sprint. Okay, so they build the priorities, right? They want to see what is the priority in the sprint. Okay, so they want to decide the priority. And okay, and so all this is designed in this sprint planning session. So this is the meeting which starts right, once the sprint gets started. Once the sprint gets started, sprint planning is started. I'm sorry. Sprint planning is, once the sprint is getting started, sprint planning will be, will be the meeting. And, there is also one more called sprint grooming session. That's not there here. It's also like similar to sprint planning. Once they are not, once you have not completed your task in time, or, I'm sorry, once they have not completed the sprint planning properly, sometimes they want more time or something, they move to the sprint grooming. Okay, so if you require more time for that, they have a sprint grooming. Not every time, not every company uses that, but some of their companies, they use a sprint grooming if you want to, decide. But otherwise, sprint planning is good enough. You don't have need. Okay, that's sprint planning. Any questions in this? So normally, yeah, in sprint planning, it's a kind of voting system. You actually decide, let's say, you know, um, this user story takes 5 days. Okay, so developer says, okay, this is the user story which takes 5 days, and so Scrum Master says, no, we don't have time for 5 days. Why not 3 days? So no, it's not possible. We need to coordinate with the with the other team. We need to get a lot of information from the other team. They have to fix these issues, and then we need to develop this application. So it's kind of time. So that's why it takes 5 days. Okay, and that 5 days, in sense, 3 days for the developer and 2 days for testing. That doesn't only for it is included. Okay, it's included. 3 days for development and 2 days for testing. That's what 5 days means. So all these things are decided in sprint planning session. Okay, so not everyone are invited. Okay, so only the technical people. So your boss is normally not invited in this. Okay, normally managers are not invited unless they are really technical on that. So normally developer managers are a little bit technical. So they might stop by, or if really they handle too many projects, 3, 4 projects, and they really know some information, and they really know stuff what's going on, then only they are actually invited. Other than that, only project manager, business analyst, developers, testers, that's it. Leads, that's it. Not managers, not your boss. Testers, test boss, no, I have not seen yet test managers to be invited for this. Only developer managers if they are really technical. Okay, otherwise, not really. They are also not invited. Okay, only technical people. Okay, that's about sprint planning. Then you have this daily scrum meeting. So daily scrum meeting. So daily scrum meeting is you have this you discuss about Three things. Okay. What have you done yesterday? What are you going to do today? And what are you going to do tomorrow? And are there any impediments? So four things. What is stopping you to do your work? Okay, four things. What have you done yesterday? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do tomorrow? And what is stopping you to do your work? Impediments. Are there any impediments? Okay, so four important things that we discuss in daily scrum. Daily scrum. Okay, so it doesn't last for more than 15 to 20 minutes. So 15 minutes max. Okay, it won't last. If you're doing like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes, you're doing something wrong. Okay, that's not supposed to last more than 15 minutes. That's it. Daily scrum. It's a daily meeting, 9 to 9:15. That's it. Done. You don't take it for long for 30 minutes because it has to do done every day. So here's an example. So here you have this project manager, scrum master, developers, testers, and discussing about what we have done and what we are going to do. Okay, is there any impediments? How we are going to solve that? So that is about daily scrum, and this daily scrum will be there, irrespective of sprint planning. Sprint planning will do it, of course, once every new sprint shows up. We keep on doing sprint planning, but daily scrum is daily scrum. It's irrespective of any sprint planning. Okay. Any questions in this? So daily scrum, the four important things to discuss. What have you done yesterday? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do tomorrow? And are there any impediments? What is stopping you to do the work? Okay. And next we have this review and retrospective meeting. Okay. Review and retrospective meeting is this is once you have completed your sprint. Let's say you have done with your sprint. You want to discuss about what went good, what didn't go good, how can we improve? Three things, three important things. And this is like, just less than an hour, normally 30 minutes, 32. And this is only once per sprint. Again, it's not daily. Daily scrum is daily. Okay, daily scrum is a daily, but review and retrospective meeting is once, per sprint. It's per sprint. What went good? What didn't go good? How can we improve? Three major, discussions in this meeting. Okay, just remember it. What went good? What didn't go good? And how can we improve? Okay, three major. About this review and retrospective. Any questions so far? So normally agile, right? So agile, it's similar to other methodology, but only thing is little bit different terminologies. Terminologies are different. Okay, so here you use Scrum Master, product owner, and all those terminologies. And here, okay, one more thing you use is you have this lot of meetings here. In waterfall methodology, you don't always have that many meetings. Okay, you might have one meeting that is to start. Once the project gets started, you have that meeting. The project and Okay, and weekly call. Normally you have these weekly calls, and that's it. You don't have daily, but here you want to move fast, right? You have this daily. It's a daily, and this is not something which is okay. Sometimes you have this phone call, that's fine. Daily scrum, you cannot always have face to face. Okay, this is here we have this face to face. If all members are in one show, but you deal with a lot of offshore and onshore people, right? So this may not be possible every time. So you want to put it as a phone call. Okay, so you want to put it as a phone call, and you want to do that daily scrum as phone meeting. Okay, not always. It may not be um, feasible to have this face-to-face meeting. Okay, and we have this extra one is review and retrospective meeting. Okay. That's right. Mostly you will be working on agile. That's true. Mostly, nowadays everyone are moving to agile because everyone thinks it's fast and it's good. But personally, if you ask me, I really don't think it's really that good. But okay, but yeah, everyone is moving to agile. So I would also think that you guys will be also moving to agile. Okay, not in waterfall methodology. Okay, since some companies, I'm not saying that you will be, because it again, the companies are different and they have their own style of doing that. But okay, some companies use agile, some companies use waterfall, some companies use helical model, some companies use spiral methodology. All there's a lot of things going on there, right? So it again completely depends on the companies. Okay, but really worried about productivity and companies really work, so they will be moving to agile. Okay, so but there are also companies like some government companies, they're still working on waterfall methodologies. So doing some oil companies or something like that. Okay, so we'll be still working on the waterfall methods, but mostly it will be agile. Okay, so let's okay, so let's discuss about sprint backlog, right? This is sprint backlog. So one product backlog is actually divided into four sprint backlogs. Okay, subdivided. Sprint is actually the time. So that means you're taking 4 months. Let's for the sake of understanding, we'll take 4 months. That means that means one product backlog is taking like 4 months, 4 to 5 months to complete. They are like four blocks. You see this? Four blocks. Okay. Um, okay. So let's say one block. One block is four sprint backlogs. Okay, that means 4 months. One block, 4 months. We complete that and design the whole product and whole software. And and that software might be just looks like this. Game online don't have to be this, but just a similar product. Okay. Once you complete all this four product backlog, you will complete a complete one website. Similar like that. Okay, so that's sprint backlog. Okay, okay. So traditionally, so let's look the traditional way. So this is traditional way of agile. So this is agile. This is traditional way. I'm not sure. Agile was pretty long, maybe 7 8 years back. Okay, it was like agile, where you don't have that much development in agile, right? So what you used to do is there's a board. Okay, so they used to put a board, and they used to put is the stories. Okay, there's the stories. Okay, and you have this to do work in progress and testing. This information is sprint end. So there's the four columns. I'm sorry, 5 columns. Okay. So you have these 5 columns in stories to do, in progress, testing, and sprint ends. Okay. Now in the stories you have this user stories. User stories again, it's a requirement. It's a requirement, understandable with testers and developers. Okay, not very high level requirement. Okay, but here we have like small, 2 line statement. Okay, there's 2-3 line statement. So what you have to do is, like, if you need more information, you need to check with the developers, or you need to check with the business analyst. Okay, and then you to do. So how this thing works, right? So let's say once the stories are decided, again it's a voting system. It's a voting system where you gather all groups. So this happens. Everything happens in the sprint planning session. All these things are happening in the sprint planning session. What happens is, they see the user story and say, okay, how much time requires, this time requires. So let's say 5 days. Again the Scrum Master said, we don't have 5 days. No, we need to complete before that. It says, okay, we cannot do before that because it takes time. We need to coordinate with the other team, and we need to do a lot of work done. And here more domination is developers. Developers are more dominant because they know the more information about, okay, so they will go more into technical. Okay, what happened, right? When I was working in a project, they want to decide this, how much time will it take. Okay, we will be attending this session, but as a tester, we don't know much, what's going on. So developers or this, what happened? This, okay, so it takes, what developer said, it takes like 7 days of time. So 7 days is not achievable, and we don't have time. We need to design this class. We have this in object, and in this Java, we need to move this code, and there is an old code that we need to merge with it. So this takes a lot of time, and we need to coordinate with the other team. So so that's why it takes this much time. So, okay. So then suddenly the manager, or developer manager says, yeah, he's right. We need to work on our, this project, so we need to go. Then they, okay, 7 days is good. So that's how, this moves, because this is more developer dominant, because they, know how the project is, and if it's a Java project, if it's a, .NET project, or it is something which is, so they know more information, and they say, like, they go more into technical. So in that case, they decide to use time, 7 days. They say, okay, testing is not big deal. Testing you take it 2 days, 5 days for developer, 2 days for testing. Okay, so since only UI as a tester you'll be doing on the front end, and all designing work, you'll be doing developers. Okay, so that's why they take 5 days. Okay, so that's why 7 days. So once they decide, all those things are decided, right? The voting system is done. For each user story, they will decide these things. Each user story, whatever the user story. Here you see this user story, 3, 4, 5, 6 user story, right? For each user story, they decide, and the user story might be in ETL, front end, back end, okay, mobile testing, all those things. Okay, once they decide that, they have the sticky notes, that will move forward. So always developer sticky notes move first, because they are the one who will be developing the application. So let's say they move the sticky note here, and they'll write some information, okay, and saying that, okay, 5 days, they have completed 4 days. So once the development is completed, then only the sticky notes testers will start, because you cannot start testing once development is completed. You can only start testing once development is completed. Before completing, you cannot start. So once they have completed their 5 days, you need to start 2 days. So 2 days for testing. So then you will be starting your testing. Once it completes, you move the sticky note to the next, and then you complete the process. So this is an old traditional way of doing the agile. Okay, this is old system, um, but nowadays, I don't think it is required. If you use the better tools like Rally, you don't require that kind of things. Rally is good because everything it helps you to jot it down in online instead of putting into the hard paper, printing those copies and sticking onto the walls. You don't really require that. Otherwise, in traditional way, you used to print out this big burn down chart, and you need to print out this and put into the walls, and you need to show your CTO saying that this is progress we are doing for the company and so on. But now we don't require everything. Check it online. All these graphs are online design. So whatever team members you guys are doing, whatever people are doing here, just they can check it out just as a know as good as one click. Just go to it, and you want to see the burn down chart. You want to see the iteration chart. Just click it here. You want to see the defects. How many defects? You just click it here. And you can just get it, and so the management will be having a better idea. Just clicking on that. You no more require this heavy printer and printing down those things. Okay, so no more required. Any questions so far? Maybe so that's about agile. Okay, so agile. We can go through this, this slide which is there in the Google Drive, which I have given you access. To people who don't know, I'll just let you know again. So everyone have access to this Google Drive, right? Oops. Maybe did I give access to Google Drive? Maybe not, right? Let me, maybe I forgot Friday. Let me give it today. Okay, if I am not given, I'll give it today. Yeah, I forgot on Friday. Okay, so I'll give it today, and it will be there here. You can access this, slide here. You can go through this. Okay. So I already have this information in this. So any questions so far? So tomorrow, we'll be having this. So I'll be giving you, introduction on one more test management tool that will be HPLM. I'm not sure, I'll be having HPLM ready by tomorrow. If not, you know, I give introduction on Team Foundation server. Let's move to that one. If we have access to that, that's well and good. If not, I'll give you about Team Foundation server, which everyone have access, right? That optional thing. Although it's an optional, you can just go through it and just understand it. You don't have to be good at it. If you are good at rally, just know how to do this. That's well and good. You don't. But just knowing one thing is not good. You need to keep learning. I mean, you need to keep knowing one, two, so that you will get better idea of it, and so that it's good for you. Good for you to get a project quickly. Okay, so if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? Okay, let me just open. Okay, yeah, if anyone have any questions, you can still reach me. Okay, just you can call me or send me an email so that I'll be calling you. Okay, thank you guys.